if I'm tinting, if I'm working, and I'm able to be live, then I'm live. I get to work, turn on my plotter, turn on my TikTok. Like I'm bored tinting without it, you know.
And once you realize what's actually happening and there's people just interacting with you, it just flows. Hey, what a beautiful day. Welcome to another episode of the Dark But Legal Podcast. I'm your host, Chase Loupe, and today, obviously, you could see a little change of scenery behind me. We are doing this podcast at the Geoshield Academy. Last week, we had a lot of fun with Brent Dahlberg over here training all of our students, Auto Tint Beginner, and he is my next guest on the Dark But Legal Podcast. Brent!
Hey, what up, dude?
Crazy.
I tried your line there. Hey, how'd I do?
You did pretty good.
All right, thanks, dude.
You did okay. I wouldn't say, excellent. Mediocre, probably.
Mediocre is kind of harsh, I think.
I mean, it depends on how you take the word.
All right.
But it was okay. We'll give him a couple more tries. So last week, Auto Tint Beginner.
Yeah, dude.
A lot of people don't know, and if you guys are listening or watching or whichever, Brent actually works for Geoshield now. So congratulations on that.
Thanks,
dude.
man. I couldn't be more excited about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. To be before when I came here as an outsider, we'll call it.
Yeah.
And now to be a part of the team, train the first class, get to work with you for the last 2 weeks straight. It's freaking awesome.
Getting to work with me is it's a privilege.
I'd call it mediocre at best.
See, I don't take offense. I don't take offense to that. Brent and I, do you know whenever you just meet someone, it just clicks and you're like, me and this guy are about to be homeboys. Like, that's how me and Brent have been. Brent has been down here all last week, all this week. He flies home tomorrow, and honestly, I'm going to go in a corner and cry whenever he leaves. I'm going to miss him.
Sweet. That's so sweet.
But you got to go back to your family.
Yeah. I do miss my family. That's if I had one complaint, it's just missing my family. Other than that, I'm on cloud 9 living the dream over here. So
how is the dynamic working? So are you work for Geoshield now, but you're going back to Wisconsin. So what does that dynamic look like as work scope for you with Geoshield?
Yeah, so the cool thing about my position with Geoshield is I get to not only train here at the academy, but with a lot of the dealer support stuff that we have coming in the future, a lot of exciting stuff coming for our dealers in the future. I get to play a little bit of a role in some of that stuff behind the scenes. Also, as a experienced window tinter within the company now, we have the ability, or Geoshield has the ability, those more intricate, more difficult technical questions that maybe, some of the inside sales team may not have, direct experience with. Yeah. They can just simply push a button, forward that call to my phone.
Yep.
And I take that call. So it's just mainly dealer support and obviously academy and just promoting. When I go back home, I'm going to continue to do what I do out of my shop. Continue to do what I do on TikTok, and then a large portion of my time every day is now dedicated to Geoshield. So before it was precision tint, 8 to 10 hours a day, and I did whatever I did behind the scenes, after hours of my own time.
Yeah.
And now that time's split, so I'm excited about it.
Yeah. I mean, talking about the TikTok and everything, so for anybody listening to the podcast, or if you're watching it, we actually have, so I have my TikTok live running, he has his TikTok live running, and that's basically how you started. So you had a pursuit, you wanted to work for a film company.
Correct.
And basically that's how your TikTok started?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people don't know that, but yeah, that's exactly why my TikTok started. Yeah.
So you decided one day, you were like, I want to work for a film company. I'm going to start a TikTok, and I'm going to put myself out there into the world.
Yeah.
How did the live thing start, though?
Live, honestly, dude, I just copycatted. I used to be tinting throughout my normal day. And say I'd be tinting the driver door. I'd have my phone propped up on the driver's seat, watching Shady J or watching Matt or watching, Florida Tint Works.
Yeah.
Tint Works of Florida. All them guys I was like, I could do that. I tint windows. Like, they're just working. I could do that.
Yeah.
That's a great way to make some noise. And also, they're promoting products. And with my sales background, I kind of saw it for what it is. I mean, every product you're using, promoting, hey, where do you get that? What are you doing with it? The guy answering that question is a salesman at that point. And I love that. I love that dynamic as well. So combined everything I kind of have a passion for, tinting, entertaining, education, sales, promotion, all into one, and here we are, and I love it.
So what kind of, with you watching all of those other people TikToking, and you seeing all them, did you think you could bring something different, a different dynamic? Like, what separated you from those same people to get you to the level that you're at now, currently?
As far as separating, I don't think I do anything special. I mean, those guys, we all bring a different value to entertainment as far as TikTok goes.
Yeah.
Like Matt is very educational, very knowledgeable, very clean. Shady, he's more of like an entertainer, he's a little rougher on the edges, likes to talk a little smack to his chat. Like, he'll bark back at the chat, boot him, whatever.
He's like the WWE, guy.
Yeah. It's like Tint after hours, type of
Yeah.
thing. More recently, though, since he's been on his own, he's super professional and stuff as well. Like, he's kind of elevated that game now that he's working for himself.
Yeah.
He's not as I don't know what the word is, carefree as he was on TikTok.
It's just a slight shift in mentality.
Just a little more professionalism. But I mean, he's always been professional, but no, it's everybody kills it at what they do on TikTok, and I just do it the way I know how to do it.
Yeah, of
nobody's
course.
the same. We might be doing the same thing, but the way we deliver it, what you're watching, we could be doing the same thing, but it's different. That's the cool part about it is everybody has a place.
And it's also your personality too. Like, certain people gravitate towards others. You know what I'm saying? You could do the same exact things, but it's your energy and your personality and the things that you say or do that'll bring a certain type of audience. And then once you get a certain amount of people that either watch you or follow you or whatever, they're with you till the end.
Yeah.
And then those people sit there all day and they're like, if you don't do a live one day and you're at that certain amount of followers, that's something that I'm striving for. Like, I hope to get, my platforms built up that big.
Yeah.
But I want to get to a point to where when somebody wakes up, if I don't do a live that day, they're basically like, dude, they didn't do my TV show today.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't air it today. What's happening? You know?
Like, they don't have their hangout spot if you're not live.
Exactly.
Yeah, I got a lot of people like that.
That's
That's
you know what
awesome.
I'm saying?
Hell yeah.
And I think you did a really, really good job at doing that, starting it out with the dream that you had and then following that dream through. I think everybody that's in your community right now is there till the end.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, there's people in my TikTok that have, I could pull up the numbers. There's people in there with over 1,000 hours of watch time.
Lord, have
just in
mercy.
my TikTok lives.
1,000 hours of watch time.
Literally 1,000 hours of watching my lives.
Insane.
It's crazy. It's awesome, but it's crazy.
So what, was there a certain video, was there a certain thing, was there something that happened that exploded your channel?
I wouldn't say exploded. I mean, I'm still not. I don't have an extremely large following. It's
I'd say
respectable.
I'd say 30,000 people is a pretty It's good.
Yeah.
I mean, I have 1,000.
It's a good start. It is.
And I'm sitting there looking at your 30,000, going, man, what do I do to get to that point?
No, it was just consistency, persistence. I did it every single day. I streamed 0 people to 10 people for 2 weeks, for the first 2 weeks every day. That's discouraging. You want to give up.
Yeah.
And then one day I was live outside with snow behind me in the background, tinting a vehicle in like 40-degree weather. And then viewers started coming in. And then every day after that, it was 10, then it was 20, then it was 50, then it'd be 10 again. And just jump around, slow climb. And now, I don't know what's in there right now, but Now a lot of people come back, which is cool. You get that community built up, you know.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. Once you build that community, they're kind of just there to stay. But is there, for the people watching, they're probably asking the same thing, like, this is something that I want to do, but I don't really know what I'm going to talk about.
Yeah.
Do you have like a plan when you go, like, do you schedule your content? Do you say, okay, it's 8 o'clock in the morning, I'm going to tint these cars, and then like, this is my skit for the day? Or do you really just wing it?
No, I just go live. If I'm tinting, if I'm working and I'm able to be live, then I'm live. It's just natural. Like I get to work, say hi to Jade, turn on my plotter, turn on my TikTok. You know what I mean?
So it's just a routine.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like turning the key on in the morning.
Yeah, it's just normal now.
Gone.
I kind of feel weird, like I'm bored tinting without it, you know?
Really?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. And that's how they would feel if you never did it, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Are there days where you miss, like, what happens if you're like extremely sick? Do you still cut it on and let them watch you like cough?
Sick?
Yeah, like I'm talking super sick.
Well,
You got
here's the
strep
thing
throat or
is
something.
I have what we call an elite immune system, so I don't get sick. It's not a problem.
I'm going to remember that the next time you get sick.
Yeah. Yeah, none of that. No sickness going on. We don't tolerate that.
Yeah. And I mean, a lot of people get scared. It's kind of a fear whenever they get in front of the camera, they either freeze up or something. But, I watched, Cubby and Burns and Trey hop on your live the other day.
That was awesome.
And dude, that
was cool.
They was just getting it.
Yeah.
They was getting it. But that's what happens, You see something, like you see a phone camera or anything,
Yeah.
and then once you realize what's actually happening and there's people just interacting with you,
Yeah.
it just flows.
Yeah.
But you put a camera in front of somebody and you tell them, hey, this is your script.
Yeah.
You need to follow it. And like, this is what you're talking about.
Yeah.
20 tries, like 20 retakes.
Yeah. You know
get
that.
nothing.
We tried shooting a video yesterday. I shot this thing 6 times.
Yeah.
And, but live, it's like, you just know what you're doing. It's natural.
Yeah.
You know? And when it's planned, there's, get that pressure. Speaking of pressure, you were going to tell us a story for those that didn't hear at the beginning here. Chase took me out to dinner last night. I got to meet his fam.
Yep.
And you were about to tell a story about your wife. What were you going to get into? I want to hear the story.
Last night, I took Brent out, and we have a seafood restaurant. It's called Don Seafood. It's about 25 minutes from the Academy.
Super good.
And it's basically, I like going to Don's over a lot of the seafood restaurants around here because it's more the older crowd, higher class people over there. And that's just my spot that I like going to. And they do some really good jacked up oysters.
Those were really good. I'm not
Very
gonna lie.
good.
They were really good.
So we go over there. We get everything. We get our fried alligator. We get our jacked up oysters. He gets, a bowl of gumbo, some etouffee and everything. And he is just amazed.
Oh, yeah.
And by the end of it, he asked my fiance, he says, do you know where the restrooms are? And literally, I don't know why this didn't click in my brain. But Brent is sitting, so my fiance knows I always got to sit where I'm facing the exit point or entry point of the restaurant. She always, no matter what restaurant or wherever we're at, she sits to where I can see who's coming in. And so she sat with her back towards the door. I sat facing it. Brent sat on the side of me. And the restroom sign is literally in front of his face the whole time he's eating. And I don't know why we didn't catch this. So we finish eating, and he asks my fiance, he goes, hey, do you know where the restrooms are at? And my fiance's looking around, and she goes, oh, it's over there. The restrooms just so happen to be right next to the server stand where they print out all the checks and stuff. Brent goes over there and pays for the whole meal that we just ate, which was, I guarantee, not cheap. And Kayla was so mad that you paid for that food. I was about to tell the lady, reprint the check and give you your money back.
Was she upset?
Dude, she was mad.
She hit it well.
She said it at least 3 more times on the drive home.
Yeah.
She was mad.
Yeah.
Wasn't mad at you, just mad at because you're the guest here. You don't do that whenever you're the guest here.
Well, at some point, I got to stop being the guest. I work here now, Chase.
Yeah, but you still flying in from Wisconsin. So.
I knew for a fact that if that check made it to the table, you were not even going to let me tip.
Yeah, no.
So I was catching it.
That's not how it goes.
I caught
That's
it.
why now I just don't even want to take you out anymore.
That's fine.
We'll go play putt-putt golf or something.
Yeah, putt-putt golf's fine.
Like $5.
I had fun at Top Golf with the academy class the other day. That was fun.
Yeah, that was super fun.
I've never been to Top Golf. That was my first time.
Y'all don't have that up there?
Yeah, we have it, but I think it's probably like maybe an hour or so away. I'm not sure. I've never been into golf, so I guess I never even looked.
It seems like y'all's driving hours are very different from ours.
Yeah. Well, when I say
30
an hour,
minutes to us is not long. But that's because my drive to work in the morning is 15 minutes.
Yeah.
But depending on what time I leave, that drive is going to turn into 45 minutes with traffic.
See, an hour for me is 60 miles. I go 60 miles away to go to somewhere. No, we got Cubby behind us here. Oh, you know what's up then? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Not down here.
No.
Yeah, you're
That's
not
crazy.
getting anywhere fast.
It's crazy.
That's what I'm saying. It all depends on what time you leave. That's why whenever you were saying, hey, what time are we going to eat? And I said 6:30. And you got on your maps immediately and looked up the restaurant, and you were like, oh, my God, it says 45 minutes.
40 minutes to go 10 miles.
I said, you're checking it at 5:15 in the afternoon. I was like, check it again in like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And all that's gone. Yeah. And you can't get anywhere.
Yeah.
You're
You were
not
right,
going
though.
anywhere.
Yeah.
You're screwed. Yeah,
That makes sense.
You're screwed. It's done.
Dude, the drive home at like, what, 8:30 last night?
Yep.
12 minutes.
Yeah,
So
that's
it
what
took
I'm
40
saying.
to get there.
That's what I'm saying.
That's crazy.
Smooth sailing. Yeah.
Makes sense.
I had a hard time driving last night.
Did you?
I don't really drive at night.
Oh, really?
Obviously.
Oh, yeah. God, you. What percentage is your windshield?
20.
20?
20%.
Ugh, that thing would never leave the driveway after dusk if it was mine.
I
I'd be
never
scared.
metered the side windows, but I'm sure it's
They're
just
metering at
straight
zero.
zeros all the way across. There's probably a number somewhere in there, but it's in like the 1,000th place.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's yeah.
Need a high
And then I have
meter.
people in the chat wanting me to go darker.
Oh, my gosh. That seems unnecessary.
No, they don't. Nobody's concerned with my well-being. They want me to slap some more 5. We'll take it off and we'll do 5% on the windshield.
Oh, yeah.
5% over there.
See, me and Chase.
Half a blackout strip.
We went to lunch. No, it was yesterday. We stopped at the gas station.
Yeah.
And on the way
racetrack.
there, it was hot yesterday.
Yeah.
And on the way there, I'm like, man, it's not so bad out. And I go to crack the window to vape a little bit. It was like a beam of light, just like a laser beam in your eyeballs. You don't realize when you're in there how dark it actually is till you crack that window.
Yeah.
Yeah. it's
That's
like,
what I'm
holy
saying.
shit.
And people always ask why I went so dark. I mean, you don't have to go this dark. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not telling anybody that you got to put your truck this dark.
Yeah.
I did it from my own personal because, dude, when I tell you it's 86 degrees outside today, and like this is like we're not even hot yet. Like August gets hot. You know what I'm saying? Like August gets super hot down here in Louisiana.
Yeah.
And when I tell you, like, as soon as this truck auto cranks, like when I hit my push to start and I have my AC full blast, within like 3 minutes, it's cooled off.
Yeah.
Like, you can't do that with anything else.
Yeah.
And
Makes sense.
it's only because I went so dark.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Now, I mean, up north, you really don't. How hard is it to do you sell? I mean, you sell ceramics and stuff up there, but
Yeah.
how often is it? I mean, you're up north. You really don't. Do you need that?
Well, yeah, I mean, you can always, it's all about how you sell it. You got to sell the value, obviously, but selling, like at my shop, I only sell one film because I don't really have an interest in selling an entry level film. So it's either like good, better, best.
Yeah.
I go better and I just kind of hang in there where I'm at. And that's what suits my market because the best would be like Apex, which is, serving like down here.
Yeah.
Like you guys want that, obviously, because you have a ton of heat. Up where I'm at, when it does get hot, it's like, maybe a few days and it's in the 80s, maybe touch the 90s, but it's not as humid.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So the C2 ceramic, which is what I sell, excellent film, ceramic film, but it's not super ceramic, So I don't know. I've toyed with selling the super ceramic 70 shields and stuff, and heat rejection isn't usually the big selling point where I'm at. You know?
Yeah.
Every market's different, dude. Every market.
That's what I felt like with up there, because we have a lot of customers up north that don't even stock ceramics because you don't need it.
Yeah. For the first 3.5 years I was in business, I only sold carbon film.
Okay.
C2 carbon.
Yep.
I ran that stuff for a long time. And yeah. Then I just when ceramic, the whole dark on the inside or dark on the outside, clear on the inside went viral.
Came about. Yeah.
When that first happened, that's when I started really getting asked about ceramic. That's when it seemed like people started caring.
Okay.
And so then I would explain, the ceramic isn't making it clear. That's a play on light. It's ceramics for heat rejection. The C2 carbon's going to look just the same.
Yep.
And it's because they saw it on the internet, they believe it, and they don't believe me, even though I'm the expert,
Isn't it crazy how influential
Oh, yeah.
like social media can be?
Yeah. And I got sick of explaining it. So I was like, you know what? Yeah, it's ceramic. So I just switched to ceramic. Now, to answer that question, it's just, it's ceramic. Now I don't have to explain it anymore.
Mercy. That's like the people, the one that I seen the other day. A guy was sitting in the back of his car, and he had his phone light on, like as he was taking the video.
Yeah.
So obviously it was overexposing the tint.
Yeah.
And it looked super dark, and you couldn't see outside. You could just see his reflection.
Sure.
And then he rolled down the window, and he was like, the caption said something along the lines of, oh, you think your tint's dark or whatever. And I was like,
yeah,
you're literally just manipulating the camera.
Right.
But of course, everybody in the comments was like, that's stupid. You're going to wreck, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like,
yeah,
it's crazy how gullible America has become.
Yeah, the internet's a crazy place, dude. Here we are on it right now.
Yeah, with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different cameras. Somebody's
trying to join your live.
and try to join mine.
You know what? Oh, here's since you're kind of new to the TikTok live stream thing.
Yeah.
Just so you know,
let the bots in.
You want to shut off that setting where people can try to join your live, because now that someone tried to join your live, your mic is now disconnected. So now you have to unplug that mic from the bottom of your phone and plug it back in.
What's good about that is now I could just go, hey, Caden, can you unplug that and plug that back in?
But if you shut that off, because, for some reason it cuts the mic out.
Yeah.
So you got to shut that setting off.
That's weird.
Otherwise you have to replug it every time.
I'm glad you told me that, because I never
found that out the hard way.
Dang. Could you imagine sitting there talking to people for like another hour and everybody's in your chat just saying, we can't hear you, but you can't see them because you're over there tinting a windshield?
Yeah, I did it. Yeah. It's, well, for the first long time, I couldn't figure out what was causing it. I'm like, what's wrong with this mic? I was about to return it. Keeps disconnecting. And then I realized it's only every time somebody tries joining my live.
Yeah.
So I shut that off. Hasn't done it since.
I'm glad you told me that.
Yeah. Well, it's not.
It's for them trying to like collaborate. Like they wanna be on the live. Yeah, they
like
want to be
they're
in
requesting to duel the screen with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, which
I wanna duel
don't
your
do.
screen.
Yeah, I'll duel the screen with you.
Yeah, we'll duel the screen.
Yeah.
We'll duel the screen one day.
Yeah. So what else are we talking about? You want to talk about Academy
Let's
or
go
something?
back to the Academy part where it was our first one.
Yep. Beginner tint class, number 1, baby.
Let's just say how it actually went.
How it went?
Yeah, how did it go? How do you think it went?
Well, I tell you what. Let me give you a rundown of, I'll give you the quick and dirty of the play-by-play, okay?
Yeah.
First day, we showed up around, what time I get here? 8:30, something like that?
Yeah, 8:30, yeah.
Students started trickling in. I was surprised, and not that it's uncommon, but I think we can all agree it's more uncommon to see females in the tint industry.
Yeah.
So I was
for
surprised
sure.
to see class number 1 was equally split, 2 females, 2 males.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah, but I mean it was unexpected, but it was cool.
Yeah.
So for me, aside from the 2-person class that we did at my shop in Wisconsin, this was my first official curriculum planned out, the whole 9, in this type of setting. And it went super smooth. Like day one we did the verbal portion, then we dove right into hand cutting. We did 2 methods of hand cutting. Everybody liked the Sharpie method better than cutting on the car.
Which isn't a surprise.
Yeah, it's easier. And then we dove in the next day into two staging. Then the third day we went into shrinking and installing curved glass. And the end of the third day, Geoshield generously took everybody to Top Golf. We ate like kings. We had some fun. Day 4, we had planned to be done by 2:00 because day 4 is kind of designed to be like a more of an open day to kind of spend more time on things you didn't get to spend enough time on in the first 3 days. You know?
Yeah, and then play some games.
Yeah,
have some
play
fun,
some games. We did the graduate games, but we were supposed to be done by 2:00, and we actually didn't even start our graduate games until about 2:00. We got done around 5 or 6 the last day. But everybody was still happy to be here. They weren't in a rush to get out of here, so we got to utilize that whole 4th day. And we gave away the house with prizes. I think the students had a blast. To see these people, 3 of the students had 0 experience. One of them had some experience. But to see from... It's almost like raising a child in 3 days. You know what I mean? To see him walk in with 0 experience, don't even know how to hold the knife correctly.
Yeah, go from baby to teenager to adult.
Yeah, and like bam. And then like 2 of the students called, they worked at the same shop.
Yeah.
And they called me the next day after class, that Friday, because class ended Thursday. And they're like, hey, we're shrinking this windshield right now in our shop, and we need a little help. They were struggling with just one of the steps they had missed.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, oh, let's hop on FaceTime. I'm like, wait, you guys are shrinking a windshield in Apex on a customer's car right now? I'm like, you realize you just got done with class yesterday, right?
They're like, we don't care.
And they did that, and then they did another one. They did another one that same day right after that.
Yeah.
So they literally came here with no experience, and the day after they got home, they're tinting windshields.
They're tinting
it's crazy.
cars,
And I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like I taught them everything there is to know about tinting in 4 days.
Yeah.
But the fact that they are confident enough to even try that the next day is crazy. Was there probably a couple contaminants in it or something? Probably, but obviously they delivered an end product to the customer, and they're going to stand behind it, whether it's perfect or not. But the fact that they were confident enough to do it so quickly, I take a lot of pride in that, man. It was super cool to see that.
It's definitely a good feeling. I mean, like I said, just walking around the whole time, because Caden was filming, I was getting some behind the scenes stuff, just to pump out reels for everybody on our socials.
Yeah.
But just hearing everybody speak about how there was 2 students who had went to trainings prior to our training class.
2 of them?
2 of them.
Which ones were those? I thought it was
Faith
just
and
one.
Alex.
Faith had gone to training before?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
She had went to training before, and Alex had went to training in Houston.
Okay.
And both of them had
I knew
told
Alex
me
did, but I didn't know Faith
that your training style is, for some reason, it's just so easy to pick up. It's so easy to learn from you.
That's good.
And like, even because I know, you apologize to Alex for not giving him that one-on-one time that you wanted to give him. But he even told me personally, he was like, dude, I've learned way more in these couple of days than I did the whole time I was in Houston.
Yeah.
And it's just because of Brent's teaching style and everything.
Wow. Yeah, that's awesome.
It's because your steps aren't hard to remember.
Yeah.
Like once you perfected your way of doing everything, and you show those people that, and you definitely make sure to tell them like, hey, look, I'm going to show you guys the way that I do it, and I'm not saying that this is, everybody's way that they're going to do it. You could definitely fine tune it to how you like to do it and everything.
Yeah.
But I'm going to show you how I do it and how I achieve such a great install.
Yeah.
And I think just from knowing your steps and you dialing everything in, it helped them learn and become good at the process, which is why they left with that confidence.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of in my opening spiel on day 1. I can't teach you every method that there is to tinting windows.
Yeah.
We'd be here for weeks. But, and not only that's not effective, because in order to create consistent results, you just have to you want to create muscle memory. You know what I mean? You have to create muscle memory in what you're doing, and build up that skill. And if you're trying to do it 6 different ways every time you do it, or adjust it to a different way every time you're doing a different car, then it's going to take a lot longer to create that muscle memory. But what I want to show people, what I tell them I'm going to show them, is when you come to Academy Beginner Tint, I'm going to give you the fundamentals to tint 99% of the stuff you're going to be asked to tint on a daily basis, which is stuff like this, a daily driver. And I'm going to show you how to do it without removing a single thing off the vehicle. It's going to work on, like I said, it doesn't work on everything. It's not the only way to do it. It might not be the easiest way to do it on a particular vehicle, but once you create that muscle memory, it is, because it's just repetition at that point. You know what I mean? So, where you would start adjusting those methods, when you go home, you might think, one of the steps in my process is unnecessary. Maybe you can achieve the same results without that additional step. Yeah. But my job is just to give you those fundamentals, and you make those adjustments when you go home.
Yeah, it's like with any teacher.
Yeah, exactly.
Even a school teacher, they're going to give you the fundamentals, but it's up to you to retain that, and you could change some things. But
absolutely,
the teacher's priority is to give you all of the fundamentals.
Right.
So
yeah,
you did an amazing job.
Thanks, dude.
Amazing job. I'm actually ready for the June class now.
Yeah, I said it to all of our leadership and to you and everybody here. What has been accomplished here is incredible. No expense was spared in this building, in this facility, in the entire program.
Yeah.
On Geoshield's behalf. So now, as far as curriculum and the experience of what we're actually providing the students on an educational level while they're here, that kind of now falls on me. And when I walked in initially, I thought I was ready.
Yeah.
And I was. We got it done. It was awesome. But I realized, I learned a lot of things that I wasn't expecting, or things within my curriculum that we are now going to have dialed in for June. So if we were at 75% for May, we're going to be at 99 for June, and I'm really excited about that. It's going to be awesome.
And like I said, and I'll keep saying this when it comes to education style things, it's just like syllabuses in school and curriculums in school.
Yeah.
The first one they write is never the end one.
Right.
Every year they change those things up, and it's just to better them.
Yeah.
So even if the June one, even if we go from, let's say, 60% to 75%, and the June one is, 82%, that just means that we're at least going in the right direction.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the curriculum may be not dialed in now, and even for June, we may still have a couple hiccups. We could plug in a heat gun and a breaker trips. You know what I'm saying? But that's just real world things that happen.
Yeah.
But everything will get better over time. Soon it'll be where, just like your lives, you walk into work, you open your shop, Jade does her thing, you go in there, you cut on TikTok Live. This place will eventually become like that.
Absolutely.
You come into a class on that Monday morning, everything's ready to go, nothing's going to go wrong, the curriculum is there, we're flowing through it.
Yeah.
And then by that Thursday, come 2 o'clock, everybody's, okay, bye, see you later. And then we look back on the class we just had and we go, man, we came a long way, dude.
Oh, yeah.
We came a long way.
Absolutely.
So what is an incentive to any alumni of the classes? When they leave, they're not just gone. You know what I'm saying? They're a part of the Geoshield atmosphere.
Well, like I told you, the day after, Faith and Gracie ended up FaceTiming me, and I walked through the first half of a windshield install with them on FaceTime, and it was just realizing what step they missed, and okay, yeah, that's right, that was my fault, and so that continues support, and I can't, obviously, right now I can, because we don't have very many alumni yet, but as the years go on here, time goes on, classes build up, we're going to build up a lot of alumni, obviously, and I can't service them all, but we have everything began in place as far as dealer support goes that's coming in the future, that if it's not me directly, somebody's going to be able, they're always, anybody that comes to this academy is always going to have the backing and the support of, whoever they need within this company, I think. And not only that, but something you got cooking, I don't know a whole lot about it, but aren't we starting a alumni only Discord?
Yep.
So we can maintain communication, help each other out type of
thing? Yeah, so I'm basically starting a Discord server. So Discord Discord's a very nice platform.
Yeah.
Not only can you start chat rooms where you could literally like hear each other's voice and talk to each other, but there's also text channels that you could create. So like one of the text channels that I have, and none of this is live, this is all still very much in the works and everything, but one of the things that's really cool about it is the text channel I have is basically Geoshield Academy alumni.
Okay.
But there will also be, higher level dealers that will be able to go into that chat channel, and they'll be able to help those guys that maybe just graduated the academy. So like, say for instance, we couldn't answer a question, but there will be people in there with enough experience to kind of help them out. It's basically like the old forums, like the old 90s and early 2000s, like whenever you'd have to get on a website and go to a forum and say, because I used to be in them, like say you had a Honda or something and there was an import forum that you were in and you were like, oh man, I want to lower my car, but what are good coilovers or whatever?
Oh yeah.
You'd get on your forum, you'd start asking the guys and everything. That's basically what Discord is for those that don't know. Like in the simple terms, Discord is like an advanced technology forum. So it's a good place to get resources, information. You could talk to each other. You can start a private chat channel, everything like that.
Yeah.
So it's just a really cool place. And I'm hoping it gets big. I'm hoping that that's where the community kind of grows, because we do have our Geoshield dealer group on Facebook.
Yep.
But Facebook is kind of, it's iffy on the things that you could do. We don't really allow people to do their own. I get them a lot, because I'm on it, but it's almost daily where people want to start a Facebook Messenger thread with people, but it's so hard to control that stuff, and you never know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
And it's not that we want to be controlling or anything like over what they can say.
Yeah.
But you just never want misinformation spread.
Right.
And so the Discord is a very good place where you can set moderators, everything like that. It's just an easier platform to handle all that stuff. So
absolutely.
I'm really looking forward to that one.
Yeah. And even years down the road, if once these students are experts in their fields, like even me, I mean any tinter, no matter how long you've been doing it, 6 years, 10 years, 20 years, there's going to come a time where you encounter something you've never encountered, and having that network available to you, readily available, on that level with people that, because obviously anybody can throw out a question on the 313 page or on
100%.
Any other forums.
Yeah.
And what you get in return, you take it or leave it.
Yeah.
But as far as an internal like alumni Discord, who you're getting the information from. You know what I mean? And you have that connection already with those people. So I see that being really valuable long term too, just to have it just for networking purposes.
Networking's a real big thing, and that's one of the things that you kind of talked on at the very first day of class was, wherever your area is, make sure that you market yourself. You have a good business and everything.
Yeah.
And the one guy that was in there, he actually had a very impressive business structure already.
Which one?
Dustin.
Oh yeah, Dustin.
Very, very nice, because they were all detailers.
Yeah, that was the cool thing about our class is every person in our class either worked for or owned a very successful detail.
Yeah.
And when I say detail, I'm talking paint corrections, ceramic coatings, like successful businesses.
And those and they're kind of easy to talk about the marketing and the sales portion too, because they already have to do that.
Yeah.
Every day, regardless.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of our verbal portion of the class on day one, I think we cut that time in half because a lot of it's just basic, marketing or business, industry stuff that they already had experience with. Like I didn't need to show them how to make a Facebook ad because they already know how. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Type of thing. So.
And I mean, some may not, There are some people that I know, even in business, they don't know how to do Facebook ads.
Right.
Or they either don't want to.
Mm-hmm.
And it's basically like I told some of them too, if you want to elevate that, like growing from Facebook ads, then you start getting into like the Google realm.
Oh, yeah.
Where if you have a website, you start tracking your SEOs and you start building those performance metrics. But that's like That's getting advanced,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, and you could really mess yourself up with that.
And that's over my head. I don't know how to do all that SEO stuff.
You could start a Google business account and then think that you're doing everything amazing, and really you're like marketing to Hawaii.
You're just losing
and
money.
you live in Oregon. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and like you're
yeah.
losing stuff because Facebook does cost money,
Yeah.
but Google can get away from you
Yeah.
because like once you set a budget on Facebook and everything, that's kind of like your budget and stuff. And Google runs the same way.
Yeah.
But eventually it'll get to a point where it'll start cutting that budget.
Yeah.
And then you're just wasting money.
Yeah.
You're not getting anything on return, and you're just wasting it.
Yeah, I mean, just like you pay a professional tinter to give you a professional result.
Yeah.
I mean, you get to a point in business where you want to make your marketing dollars effective. There's people out there that's what they do for a living. They know how to get you the most out of your money as far as marketing goes.
Yep. 100%.
You know, so I look at that kind of the same way. Like we can get things to a certain level, but unless you're going to become an expert in that field, then there comes a point where you probably transition to, you know, places to help you, like to assist you with stuff like your SEO, Google stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and there are companies like that out there, and there are industry-specific companies too.
Yeah.
You know, iMagnet Management, Patrick Fransco, and all that. He has that service. So,
Sure.
you know, if anybody listening, watching, whatever, Patrick Fransco, amazing guy. He has Window Film Pros, Auto Film Pros. He has iMagnet Management, and if you guys need any Google business stuff, his company iMagnet Management can handle all that for you.
Oh, nice.
I mean, it's obviously a monthly fee.
Yeah, of course.
You know, but
Spend money, make
the
money.
return on investment that your business will get if you want to go to that level, like I'm saying, like that's advanced level stuff.
Yeah,
and then
for
you're
sure.
also trusting somebody to handle that advertisement for your business. You know, so but he keeps in good contact with you.
Good.
But if you guys are ever interested in anything like that, leveling up, you know, those advertisements and stuff, Patrick Fransco, you can add him on Facebook. Very good guy to talk to. He's been in the industry a long, long time.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I always say
what I would suggest.
learn how to tint the windows. Coming here to the academy, learn how to tint. It's only 50% of the battle.
Yeah.
Selling, jobs, managing your business, and keeping customers happy is equally as important.
So do you think let's just put, for instance, a horrible personality person.
Yeah.
Do you think that they would make it? They come into here and they take a
by
tint class and they are the best thing since sliced bread as a rookie installer. But they cannot sell. They have a horrible piss poor attitude.
Yeah.
Do you think they'd make it?
Absolutely not. Not by themselves.
Yeah.
No, because getting the car in the building, you have to do that before you can use your amazing tint skills.
Yeah.
So if you can't get the cars in your building, then it does you no good. So if you're just an asshole, you can't talk to people, then you need to hire somebody that can so that you can put your awesome skills to use. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you think that students, like, would you recommend? So Faith and Gracie, obviously, you know, they did the windshield and everything.
Yeah.
And, like, huge round of applause to them, too.
Absolutely.
But do you think that they should go out there and start trying to make money first? Or should they start doing, like, you know, mom's car, dad's truck, like sister or brother's vehicle? Like, which way should they go?
Tint anything and everything you can get your hands on, because the more experience, the better. But in their scenario, they already run a successful business.
Yeah.
So if they're confident they can deliver results that are acceptable out of that business, then who am I to tell them not to? Who am I to tell them they got to practice more? Because the thing is, even if, like I said before, even if they're not perfect, even if that install may not have been perfect, and maybe they're not even aware of it if there was an issue,
Yep.
and that customer finds an issue and brings it back, I know just based on their character and their business, how they operate, that they're just gonna redo it until that customer's happy. You know, what I mean? Like they're gonna learn that way. You know, so
yeah, exactly.
I have no concern with that. But that comes down to what you're comfortable with. You know, you don't want to put yourself in a position where you're risking damaging something and costing yourself money. But if you're confident, you can deliver the results. Your mom's car, paid car, customer's car, doesn't matter whose car. Tint them all, every one of them, twice.
It's not a bad logic.
Twice.
That's what I would do. Just go buck wild. I just wanted to hear your feelings on it.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, tint everything, you know.
What about, say somebody finishes one of these classes.
Yeah.
They live out in Idaho.
Idaho.
All they got is fields.
Potatoes.
And a guy comes up, John Deere tractor.
Yeah. John Deere tractor. Big old.
How would they go about that? Don't even attempt that. Call a friend. Could they hit you up for something like that?
You're asking the hard questions.
That is a hard question.
So something like that would be more of an advanced, I told the students when they were here, equipment, classic cars, boats, anything outside of, a daily driver. You're going to build your muscle memory, build your the recognition of how the film reacts to what you're doing to it, stuff like that, experience. Build that with your everyday daily drivers. And then there's the things that would be, you have to understand the fundamentals before you can understand advanced fundamentals.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But once you get past that point where you're comfortable doing that stuff, then it's not how do you do that? It's what do I have to do different to accomplish the goal with this window?
Yeah.
Because you know how film works now. You know what tools do what. You know what it can and can't do. You know how to shrink. So now it's okay. That one looks hard. How do I make it work?
Yeah.
And that you probably can't figure out day one. You could try, but that comes with experience. That's something you got to put a little experience in to be able to tackle stuff like that. Hardware's got to come off. You got to take the doors. You can't tint around the door handles cleanly without removing them. You know what I mean? There's just a lot more stuff you got to do.
So I have a vision.
Yeah.
For what an advanced class looks like.
Okay.
But I want to hear what you think an advanced class looks like.
Oh God, advanced class. Well, first of all,
I see it kind of simple, but might not be. I don't know. I could be completely wrong.
I mean, you could go a lot of different ways with an advanced class. We could use torches. We could learn how to use a torch instead of a heat gun because it's more efficient. But that'd be something where we have a C5 back window on what do you call it? Not the whole car, but we build something with a C5 back window that we can operate.
Yeah, basically
like a
almost like a
that we can
rolling
move around.
display.
Yeah. To practice on like a Corvette back window, teaching, shaving edges, filing edges, double shrink, just weird shit. Equipment, boats. I mean, that would be like the advanced type of stuff you'd see in the wild. But there's, I think in a class setting, you probably just focus more on different techniques outside of the fundamental techniques.
Do you see that as like a 4-day thing as well?
Honestly, I don't know. I'm new to instructing in this industry and instructing in general. And I don't know. I think that's something that I'd want to see maybe kind of what other programs look like, what are other advanced classes focusing on, maybe build off that. Well, I think maybe they're forgetting to do this or they're doing that and we could do this instead, and maybe just modifying off of that.
Yeah.
Or putting out some sort of feedback surveys to our customers or maybe our alumni that have taken the fundamental class 12 months from now. Hey, if you were to take another class to advance those skills even further, what would it include?
Yeah.
What would you want to see in that class?
What would it take from us
to
let you feel like an advance?
So I think when we start planning advanced classes, I think I'd like to do that. I think I'd like to get some feedback maybe in a survey form just from our dealers to see, hey, what do you guys think we need to focus on in an advanced class? That'd be the best way to build it. Because I don't know. I don't know the answer.
Yeah, it's a hard one to answer.
It is. There's so many things. It's just like
there's a lot of factors when it comes to that.
Yeah, you got to pick what you're going to do because you can't do it all.
Yeah, we can't slap a boat in here and a tractor
and a Corvette
and a
side by side
Like you can't bring all those things.
Right.
We're not saying that you can't bring those some of those elements in here.
No, we can. We just don't have time.
But we don't have time. There's not space, anything like that. So it does have to be like a dialed in thing. So I do agree with the survey stuff.
Yeah.
Finding out exactly what these people think would elevate them to that next level.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, before we get off, one last question.
Yeah, dude, what's up?
Louisiana or Wisconsin?
Oh, God. I knew you were going to go there. I knew you were going to go there. So here's the thing, dude. I freaking love it here. And I feel incredibly privileged that I get to have both because I don't know how to choose.
It's fair enough.
I love it here. It's
fair
incredible.
enough.
I get both, so ha. I don't have to choose.
I'll take it for now.
Yeah.
I'll ask you again in the podcast
Ask
in
me again later.
6 months, let's say.
Yeah. No, I love it here, dude. It's incredible. But here's the thing. I've been spoiled with the weather every time I've been here.
Yeah.
And I think that first hot, wet day that you guys been telling me about, then I might be I might drop down a couple notches on the Louisiana side. I
Or
don't know.
just wait till you're here one week and
Yeah.
there's a hurricane that comes through.
Or a hurricane. A
and
hurricane
you're
would do
stuck
it.
in a home to suites calling me going, I'm freaking out. And
can I
I'm
stay
like,
with
dude,
you?
I'm in my front yard.
Yeah.
I'm watching 2x4s fly by. Like, it's okay.
Yeah. No, that sounds scary. But no, dude. Check back with me on that in 6 months. I'll let you know what I think.
I definitely will.
All right, dude.
Well, Mr. Brent, I appreciate you coming on again. Dude, I always have so much fun whenever we podcast together.
Oh, absolutely.
It's
Hey, should we
always
show
so
him the
much fun.
handshake you taught me?
Oh, yeah, dude.
Yeah.
This is
so
how we
it's
leave.
hold on. Ready? Let me get natural.
You gotta
Like you're about to leave.
think about
you're
it?
You're about to leave. All right, let's do it.
We're
Ready?
about to leave? All right.
And then he hits me with the
catch you
deuces
later.
on the way out, guys. You see the deuces? That's the most important part.
Oh, Lord.
Thanks for teaching me that. I've never had a handshake before. I feel special.
Yeah, you got to bring
know?
that to Wisconsin with you now.
It's cool, dude. I like
Do that
it.
to everybody.
Yeah, I'm going to implement it. Me and Jade are going to be doing it first day I get home.
I better see a video about that.
bah.
Yeah, I better see
Yeah.
a video about that. Yeah.
Hit her with the deuces.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate everybody listening and watching at home. That'll do it for this episode. We'll see you guys on the next one.